oba parliament ya bombo wabato no wo say hey MPP for na momote wono Jack ye be mamu data na matena fie na mahwe bi o TV so already Ghana policies oh ekro no mo terror of ekro no already I said nke ya bawe ono osane papa on feel anu wato osane papa o osane papa osane papa ai eti MPP for no say Jack mono ya ye piska ma na matena no mahwe bi o mahwe bo fi eti afanya maka wasembo no po ai eti ya kuyanim na bema ye oda some kind no your friend hwan ya Hopeson Adorye one say akwa we open one of the political process to waka ho politics mo bi o free ajompe kwa bia no we political prostitute Hopeson Adorye MPP ni no ye mo airport ho na mo de ne toy ena o mo call campaign internal politics ena ko di ala achi na woni ala nyina atwe o mo ho na ono party yes o matwe na sign any now party BM. But as usual, NDC ba power ya Hopeson Adorye asa ehura di NDC mu a chese asese said wadani NDC ni ana wo ya nwunani dia automatically wo ya NDC ni ana oden. Na no na NDC for say aden na mo chese mo chechiri yensa agu yechi na mo atwa fufu afa yeti kosa da Peter bi ente ase. The NDC for say no way wo mo ente ase. If you say Hopeson Adorye de ye po bi a wadi Mahama ne yera temu a Hopeson Adorye eye one to omo say sade no a empanimfo NDC for no ye na omo di Hopeson omo twe na wura party no kwa che wo ye adwuma no omo nte ase enya some be demonstration serious one ehurade hey aba bia ba ye omo edi yo wani anya dia wonidi ai wani anya dia wonidi o ai wonidi na wo de yenko NDC for radio station yenko tie de yekoso
NDC for who Hopeson Adorye say o angel nipa boni ni nipa tanta nipa fon sa wotima say NDC for gigine so chair ya adwuma no about 12 years ago when Hopeson Adorye edi jomama ne yira temu afiri om na ase akopem so 6 months okọ na afrafranto ani empe na wayi na di because of okọ ware ye no adwuma protocol ware it's like then bibi ewo munti ene ye pam no o ware ya da ne fo de ne pam no enne mo so Hopeson na mo gine say we gane na ma me airport ade nipa ne ndis wo be go gine airport akwa we di jomama ne yiri nyina atem adi o mo atem 6 months wakoka afrafranto gu usu no banti enu ti enne wo so ya woni abre say afa ne ya baba wo ma me aba na papa ba na ba wo ma me na papa ba akwa wo gite akwa we so wo ya busumfo ye criminal ade mo gite sa
eti anodin eti ese said the NDC for say no Hopeson Adorye nya obi a ese NDC for mota tana say the wusu bempade aye na jegeze ne baduko bi na enei babia Mahama begina bia na omo de wusu bempa gina nemum asofo agigina mu ne de ya sideline wo mu eti NDC for say wo mo ntiase e dabi Hopeson Adorye de no because why dey we di Mahama tempa papa onyo obi SNDC for agigine sokra na ni nyina ne se wankasa otiri ho ayeyi wayi bone sa na politics ye no se wankasa otiri ho yeyi wayi bone enu ntina ya no mfo na ahyase amount of pressure from stage we no obeko pani bi na ati omo na so say hey moni anya din ajak MPP fo na MPP say wura party ni mo because MPP ni NDC de omo ye nuafo wo secret o mo pia as omo ya atamfo etu omo nim say Usa Hopeson Adorye no sorry a me airport no obi antu kwan ase ono ankasa age airport adwuma no na e kire ba bi ope won ase ono na e kire ba bi ope o ai eti omo ni say na dey wono we hwan e na bibia no nko abaje aginam sa how enti the NDC for no communicators no say there be too much no meba odi yento aso
NDC for who Hopeson Adorye say o angel nipa boni ni nipa tanta nipa fon sa wotima say NDC for gigine so chair ya adwuma no about 12 years ago when Hopeson Adorye edi jomama ne yira temu afiri om na ase akopem so 6 months okọ na afrafranto ani empe na wayi na di because of okọ ware ye no adwuma protocol ware it's like then bibi ewo munti ene ye pam no o ware ya da ne fo de ne pam no enne mo so Hopeson na mo gine say we gane na ma me airport Ada nipa ni NDC wo be go airport akwa we di joma ma na yiri nyina atem adi o mo atem 6 months wako ka frafranto gu usu no banti enu ti enne wo sori awani abre se afa ni ababa wo ma mi ababa na papa ba na ba wo ma mi na papa ba akwa wo giti akwa we so wo ya busumfo ye criminal ara mo giti sa
asembeba da bi anyway eti when the NDC for na say there wo communicators na dwa lie fi sempene say di opotoman fe no wonchiri se wode bom ena ye mepotoman mfe no obi ma me fa nkodi anwum bi wase aponchire ni kwawi ni makwa akotre de me fa ho bai ai Ghana politics anointedness me chiao black so anoden amwate Christiana anoden Hopeson amafo adwalai omwadwa na me bema me de Mahama new almost 11 ministers or dia to dwa me de ni nyina ba be kire osisia anoden but unim oba we ye Mahama aid on ye frɛ no Joyce Bawa Mutari we ye Mahama wo faase wo hu o de ti asɛm a oba be kan wo mse me see NDC for no emotions nkwa no mo de kan asɛm o wo mo ni evidence o ɛno nti na NDC for etimi ko gigi wo court wo medu no ma lusu cases no o ti aban mu wo no na se wo power but ye di asɛm a Joyce Bawa Mahama aid ya se kura matene se unsa first no 2016 no deputy minister of transport one Jifa Ativo eti we no te se no ba bia manya ntie se anhwa wo mo de ne bekọ transport ministry ho enna no yeso yanya ntie se ase wo se wo lobby for foreign affairs but anhwa na anyi now yentie Joyce Bawa ho na yentie yemame ya na semfa ne nsem bia wo keka ho.
This fight against corruption has just started. It will certainly be one that we intend to win.
Okay, but you know, I like that you admit that the wheels of justice grind slowly sometimes, but certainly it will take us to where we want to get to. But would you then disagree with those who say that, you know, maybe in the fight against corruption with this whole oral thing, you're just selling a dream to the ordinary Ghanaian that yes, because from the way the promises are being made, it appears that in the next 3 months, in the next 1 year, in the next 2 years, state funds will be recovered because a picture has been painted that all these corruption scandals under the outgone government will be recovered as soon as the president takes office.
Would you, for example, not want to know how we arrived at all the monies paid to David Ajayi, for example? Would you not want to know? Do you not want to know that if he's been paid in excess of whatever it is that he's done, that he'll be able to return the balances, whatever is outstanding to the state coffers?
But that's not the promise that you made. You said you will recover the funds. You didn't say that you're going to tell us how the monies were paid to him.
Why? Because if you investigate, what are you investigating? You are investigating first and foremost to gather evidence. You are investigating to challenge that whatever payments have been made were illegal, were unlawful, and ought not to have been paid. And once you establish that prima facie case, you then go on to go and do what? To recover. That is a process. And that is a process that every Ghanaian is expecting. And that is even a process better than what you were promised in the past. Even with the Office of Special Prosecutor. You heard about how they went after Madam Sister.
Right. I was at Tio. On say wa me hebusa maami say. Asa mu ye corruption, but mu ankasa mu ni nyina so. Tio. Mu ni nyina so. But maami pese o kire say see ye tekura na ye hwem na ye ka kire ma ya ye bi. Ena say wa me hebusa ne say banye sa na mo kan yo ye de ne se mo be recover etimu de be court on so say the Ghana for pen say mo mpese mo beti ana da madam ye mpese ye beti ye pese ye hu resource ana meboa abusafo mo hweme ye just ye beti say obi adisika na say ye pese ye te say NDC say ekufu da wi asai ba umia wi asai no ye pese ye tene keka na ai won say we were lawyer wo ba hunim say makajo say me say NDC for no cases bebre o me kokoto o melusu o just media management until day one I don't trust them from day one me say until the day they will give me a resource I don't trust NDC John Mahama administration I don't trust them because minimum o ma ba ban mu akwa I know how they play their games now we dey consolidate now obeka sembi me the picture bi ato asemi wi a me analysis ndi ato so we dey consolidate no.
For example, You saw the prosecution that took place in court. You remember her very hot exchanges with the lawyer Martin Pebu, for example, on the premises of the High Court. Look, there are ways in which we can fight these things. What happened to all the monies that were stolen, even by the servants in Auntie Cecilia's house, for example? What happened to the monies that were found in her own possession? They were confiscated by the special prosecutor. What I am telling you now is...
And this is also a propaganda, a whole lawyer. Or no, some years be on the court or basic for justice. A whole lawyer is telling me, say, Cecilia da case ya Martin Pebu muti achide gigigigigya omkwaji omani mugwasi ya court no. Mami persist no downplay because omo the politics. Today, we are all intelligent enough say yen tenase mo mumfa ya adwene ni agro. Obisika odi ne court to say you have no any right so obi okwaji obi ajapade. Oma na ajapade bia nyina ye. But to say enom somebody here campaign no mami per se your friend intellectual dishonesty. Joyce Bawa person was still not or crusade and say or capitalize on Cecilia da past case no akọ court o ma court we release asem say asem we ya boat watching Cecilia some ye bibitia ne even just a mere defamation what the make court just a mere defamation what the make court to seek for justice answer court to chrono edi asem no they don't want to take it. You see the double standard of the NDC leadership. Me madwene no anya sharp na me twatro to no so ana me threaten life or the me be court to say a journalist be America na what baby me siu no say why say because or person was seeking for justice enya sa me boa okay on say justice krono a Cecilia da case yo mukoya bru hey e court to catch on say case we no any merit no also on the monte ase That is why I don't trust them. I don't trust the NDC administration because I know them. I know what they can do. Propaganda, lines. Madam, fine, beautiful woman. Or to our own, they are or dinner, no chat, no chatros, or and some can anymore, whatever.
I believe that what you are asking is that how will you know? And I am sure that we will be putting together a very good communication strategy as we go forward. Certainly, these monies will not go to waste. How can you lose $11.8 million in Palugo example and have no, dam to show for it? We must find these monies. We must recover these monies. And certainly, if we even have to set up serious anti-corruption courts specifically to work on these matters, then so be it. So let's see who becomes Attorney General. Is that what the president intends to do? The president has beautiful intentions, great intentions. And I have no doubt that Ghanaians want to see us deliver on the promise to fight corruption, to recover wasted state resources. Don't forget, you mentioned the banking crisis, for example. And that is actually one thing that is on the hearts of many Ghanaians. Look at the number of jobs that were lost, Sewa. In some cases, couples, husband and wife, both bankers, lost their jobs in that rationalization. And if after all these years, you and I can only speak to the matter of Mr. Atuesian and his bank in particular, something must be wrong with our society. And we know that this is one of the things that in the next 120 days, a conversation will be taking place about these banks, for example. So, Sawa, it is a day at a time. It is work in progress. One thing I can be very, very confident in is that Mr. Mahama has given us hope. There's a lot of optimism. There's a lot of reassurance. And with that reassurance comes with enormous responsibility.
All right.
Don't forget that on governance, we're also looking at the constitutional review process.
Certainly, and that's my next, because Absolutely. I told you we're going to look at the speech of the president. Yeah. And he talks about governance
4
reforms.
thematic areas.
Yes, so...
Economic restoration, for example. He speaks about it beautifully.
We will get there, but let's now focus on governance reforms. Yeah. What exact reforms is he talking about?
Let me use the level of partisanship in our government institutions. That is the first step. That we must, of course, take a very close look at our governance institutions. You see, there's something that this overly partisan environment has done. It is also why it has bred so much corruption that all of us did not even anticipate. That when the English dictionary talked about nepotism, it didn't talk about 1 or 2 of your family or friends operating. It speaks about when large numbers of family members operate in government to the point of presidential daughters and children.
Okay, I was therefore with all due respect, this woman, now, yen shoot down this propaganda. On say, what shall see a person or run say, as a Kufuado, nepotism, a Kufuado, assistant Abusia vote, say, when the constitution was saying, say, not large number of persons come from your family members that can work in the government, because on him say, Mahama Beman appointment, no cases say her screen, so, where ye, Kalishos Mahama, and they were secretary to the president, our position, President Kufuado, and yes, Adiano. Nani nuya your friend Nabusu ani your friend why Asante Bedia too. And a secretary to the president. And Crawford be kasa Kufuado assistant Nabusu for now. Yenu babia kura no yenu babia no. Say Kalushos any appointment. One secretary to the president. One jina hai. Now Joyce Bawa press one subenya position say anya too. Wait oh yenu babia o. Yenu babia ba unim. On says smartly. So yes, smart with journalists and agreement. Also, constitution can say reasonable persons. Or because constitution can say any wamodi anybody do a bit no my yaguma. It is that ODA 1, ODA 2, ODA 3, Yenina Dukada, Obiad Nabusi and Yaguma. But the diabolic and hypocritical aspect of the NDC politics, and they say, Mami Peso, yes, man, no man, Omamu say, a year dear on Mahama Bevan position too. Ninuya, your friend, Kalushos Mahama, and they were no secretary to the president. Ghana for you don't fear name yanko kan Kufuado any ne wofa asemoni ni maami nuamo anasa I watch about your friend say finance minister enna baaku ya no ye secretary to the president no omo pese no de mo nkai say Kufuado ye nepotism pato tie ni yo constitution nka say baaku mienu o miensa o say large number say be reasonable reasonable eti say wo for one wo say dey reasonable offer to a reasonable. Maybe for trade, yeah, and no reasonable. This is terrible in politics in Ghana. Young queer community.
Then you have a big problem. Because even investigating these things becomes a big challenge. When your cousin has served as finance minister, even until he overstayed his welcome, when he himself is in a conflicted situation where he owns a bank, an investment bank, and continues to get business while serving as finance minister. These are all matters Ghanaians are interested in.
But Joyce, you're also related to the president. Does that mean that you shouldn't receive any appointment?
Absolutely. There was just one of me. And before Mr. Mahama even became vice president, I was a very...
Okay, so on say, girl, the presenter no say what me here. A question is, na sa won so ya Mahama ebusuani. Also say, absolutely. Eye me nko also on dey say, oh eye me nko. But baako ne gina hai. Esa ai say nyatu, si enuru baabi a wo. Ayetu. Ye nu baabi a. Eti obi de ye 3, na wo de ye 2, wo de ne de ye ho. You see, this hypocrisy in Ghanaian politics, no, it must be stopped. As ye jai. If say the person is competent, what stops it? In America, no, some civilized, some democratic country, no. Go and see Trump. Na oba one na busia fo webre na yadwuma e wa bem. Na yire ni manyina twa ne ho hia. Ivanka, girl Ivanka. Trump I'm on position. Ivanka kunu ya man position. Krishna ya man position. Abraham Accord enyo ne koye in the name of America. Abraham Accord enyo ne koye. The bridge the gap between the Arabs and then the Israelis. You know, come move Jerusalem free and they call American embassy. So see this type of politics, no, it's every day. No, you subject yourself for criticisms because you are not telling the truth. You are lying to the people. Se see aye nu baby, mu yetu, mu nyamu preposition. Hey, na dia kura ni. And Obi Kraka was say, yes, John Jinapo is Mahama's anti-son. What? Look at that. We cried in there. And Obi saw my more fella, Prince. Yeah, Kudani Asaya. Also John Jinapo as John Mahama's anti-sons. His mother's side. Oh, just look at this. And Obi Mami fella, Kudani. So if John Jinapo is competent to do the job, so what? So what? Because the constitution is say reasonable numbers, family members. It doesn't specify say 1, 2, or 3. So if say adeninya 1, 2, 3, but the woman way intellectual dishonestly or person or dada Ghana for agreeing. Yentieno, what yentieno.
very active member of the National Democratic Congress. Like I said, there will always be overlaps.
I mean, yes, you were an
And
active
remember
member of the NDC.
that there
wasn't Ken a member of the NPP as well?
And in fact, a financier of the NPP. But he babysat Akufo-Addo until he was made finance minister. Should he then not?
So should
have
we
been more
would
diligent?
you advocate that no relative of any president is given an appointment?
That is impossible the world over. But ask yourself, how many relatives? Should the president's wife and children? Should the president's brothers and sisters? Should the president's daughters and sons? Just imagine that for a minute, Mr. Mahama wanted to bring all, I am actually an extended family member, to put it mildly. So just imagine that his immediate family members were all going to serve at all levels of government.
So it's okay for the president.
Abuzafo, Ghana politician say one so akumam na one ye critical kakra bia one obeke kafo akere wo. So one ye very critical obeke kafo akere wo because madam we one hwe careful obeke kafo akere ne papa so ho obeke kafo akere no. On so on dey say oh that be me kra me extended family member na Akufo-Addo nkrofo na abubo mu de no mo ye hin. Omo de omo nye extended family members. Gabi watchere akuna mo de na ye twiapia no why Akufo-Addo busuani. Why ni busuani? Ana so obi free achimnti no chinchina Akufo-Addo busuani no. So wanye strategic on obeke kan wadwena kire I mean political leaders no but we mature to be handle in professional way. You see, this is a total disgrace to the NDC party and this is a diabolic agenda because as you being a politician you know and you knew it so definitely president can also bring people who are competent from any family or whatever or friends. You knew that. And you are not or preposition. What did deputy minister paying? Mami or what did deputy minister paying? What is this? Idea whom crying at tea musano. Proud Africa say answer one me on okay any chatting I'm sending number man and in Kasawai. I would have sent a number. Link him up now. Men send a number no. Joyce Bawa, what did deputy minister paying? Edia cry is all lie and I'm Muyanisano. Oh, I am Munyaisa, and yet Munyaisa and your cry, and yet, And to what you just say, Debiana, Mudia dear from where yet, Obidia and yet, Uniana Janai, we want to see a Busiani. Calusius, Mr. Calusius, where Busiani, and the one as secretary to the president. What I say, oh, I'm Mahama nephew. What I say, also by your position. What am I, Yamani, and Twasso?
To appoint family members, but
there is a level of reasonability.
Right.
There is a level of logic. And using myself as an example, how many of us were in government? Certainly you'd have president's friends. I mean, who comes to work with your enemies? Nobody does. Remember that governance also comes with a huge machinery behind government. Many people who support at all levels. I'm sure that many people will have different relatives at different levels. Members of parliament, members of the district assembly, members in office in government, wherever. My sister, it is the numbers. It is a sheer magnitude of the family and friends that former President Akufo-Addo came into office with. President Akufo had his brother as his defense minister. And why not? His brother was a qualified and competent pair of hands. Why not?
Okay.
That will definitely happen. And certainly, and look, make no mistake. I believe that I'm well qualified to serve at any level. And I've had many
Ken says the same thing in his lovers.
Yes, there are many other people beyond Ken. There was Nana Bidi too with it.
On say, or the promoter on say, or you're qualified to work with President Mahama. On we are say, and Penny saying Yada to work your friend and Buffy Betchu. On say, Joyce Bawa or promoter on say, or you're well qualified to work. Fantastic. We're qualified to work. But the point in it say, Edia anansia dia wono, entekuma ntransia nyem frama. Edia anansi edia wono, entekuma wontrasia ensi wo bape. Say wo say we a fair person, fair woman. Kame me Mahama position kura fanya weda. Said ye be ya me criticism, me bogus criticisms no nka people will accept it. Or polish you him o try position. O try position, but yet o downplay, obi o insight obi said ye be ya ne ho be ye hin na me kura Akufo Addo abusuafo no e pa na o maye ne Ghana isim say ayi achemfo yi ade o maye dey o mo no o maye dey ankasa o mo ye sika Ghana nyom na ye sikafo ana bi da me ntiase o ade Akufo Addo abusuafo no o mo ye sikafo sa ana ade o mo onimo Ghana no e o mo de ana ase ya said that amanfo design pure hate against san Nana Akufo Addo ne namfo ade o maye dey abusuafo nka bi ncha o maye dey ade say me bawo ana brofo na Akufo Addo kaninti ana school no call na brochire bi a hotatra ne papa no edom kotena bocho ko school eno ade ne life ne threat obi ana ade mentiase because I say mentiase I mean ya no ana 66 no ne na UGC ninti ana I mean ana Ghana sika no a the big sense no eno nti ana anything woman no say am for time woman say am for time woman kasa because in fact the level of hatred in social media so against sa achemfo no it is bad eya busua bi ne de woman kanyo mo de eya busua bi ne de sa de ne ye wo mo a enkanyo mo de Ghana na meti nyina nim Ghana asem ka they won't take it what is this ana obi born ho modern ana ne life no be threat to you ana school ni nyina ye ko wo mo sa achemabu akwafo no omo pe school kopa omo pe academics I mean it said you about santimem ye pe business ni ya ko school ni kakra ka ho ni enamu Jack sa achemabu akwafo no you can't downplay that omo ye elite you can't downplay that omo pe academics elite lawyer omo pe sajuma no because most of them no omo ye more British yes omo ye I mean ideological family sanity no ye wo wasem mimiti ye dia me pe na ma de me life be so I didn't tell me obi no dia wo ye threat to me life say I can't get it and we need to stop this nonsense so omo too much lawyers in India na say ye de omo pe no legacy we train ni ba say wo so be say obe say legacy enti what's the point I mean, it doesn't make sense. Too much jealousy, hatred, near too much. Yes, who do I also you're too British? I say British lifestyle and omo pay that's the omo chosen no. And to omo school, do na school UK no. Woman do na school UK. And woman announce that UGCC woman that woman sa omo koko school. Bebre abrofu school woman di kan woman bebre. I mean, too much. And so, Ebusia Kubi na wodi sa de ne ye wo mu a enka nyo mu de. And so I say, we have to say, achim mafia for na wani age na wo kasa ansem say. Now we from Jack, ya mo hwe yi. Now we NDC ni, na we use start time de Akufo Addo. Ye be track o now so ya to din na ye hwe se be ye mo ya. Ye be track o, ni ya to din. Because Ghana no ye betimi ato obi adin. Ye betimi ato obi adin wo kro no. Mumianu ya ho an obi aka ni brani ahwo ya wa ko school misimi ko school ya ba ye wudu school no ehhehye siu tena me de na business na ye ya wo se wadwa obu afu se me no ye nyina ye politics wo nya politics na wo di bi koto nam no wadidi no wada me so politics no me de ada ni business e na ma ye business ye wie obi akofie me ma ye sika ni ya wo se wadwa me wi ade me wi sika hwe de wo kire moke ka brofo sa na moke ka brofo nkwa na moke ka munya position brofo na mo de ka mu wi na mokem hwema mi wati won moke ka brofo sa the next 4 years ukobusa ni wi obeka se oh ye de betimi na anye yie sa na obeka ho ogina wa na corruption o e na hwan yo man odi man nya position wi e no silence Jack 2025 ye mam sa chance traditional media na mo de mo yes no you be shoot down you be bring me say every propaganda no you be doso no every propaganda every lines you be chechrem ye mam kwan bia Uso na ye nyina ya ko school by na wo de no wo de odi hye tu nkwa yate e na de kabrofo obi din de adani business school no ko de wadwena kwa akire se me pese me de school so achieve something wo so wadwa e chese wo ye kromfo Edi no. Yeah, this time around o baby a ofie no hwe wachi ansa. Hwe wachi. Unim na obetutu din on, ye betu din a woti kra wo ye. Chesa wo ne wasefo nyina mo na. This time around. O de opa bra betu akanie bi din. Wo ye betu din. O ebeje wonsem, wo benya problem. Ade ye nim krokro ne nim ana. Mum ye nwe ho. Mu input ye say mo aya na mo am ye dede na mo create wotan hu no mo dodo ye say. Ede na mo aye wo gan na no. Mo japade ye say. Mum ye nwe ho. Se mu akwa. Asenkrofo ko bia ye ho say wo mo peke akamfo bi pese wo mo tata wo mo. Ase me tan no eti omunya position a no omo de be finish wo mo deal. Eti especially in the media. Now was akamfo kase ye the media ne ye Ghana benya asomdwe. He. Na mbenya asomdwe o man no. Mu manu odin yesai manu edini koduru he empanifo na ye ni nipa kasantia wo ye no ma frost anya hwe ye nyina Ghana fo muntwaso nya eye no ntia o na mu na mutiti media so amoye sa mu nya tutrafo nje wo bia wo na nkokon da mu ma ni nya de mu ni akon da mu me nwe ho ye na nanu ma di akonte wo ye mu entokwa wo ye mu etutrasem ni ntokwa wo ye mu si ye ko agi bibi ni ye nim nyansa de ko gi ade asenko mi say uta to da kutumi kopie ba bi on o twese de omode otan hunu no mo twetwese na ko track ba bi obi afias na nkofo we mu no adai omo fre obi aso mu ana hwe ebe funu it over you ye to bomb ba ko sei wan hwa wo nya so dwie na wo ho be pu chechecheche samfu akwa obi aso mamo school broni school ye koni nyansa tie pacho muntie mi broni school ye koni nyansa broni ni school no ye koni nyansa intermediate minimum sa asantefo school broni school ye koni nyansa ti asante ni bia nya sika na wode ne ba gura school mu na wa kire school kura de o se okoye na wode na ba abepre ye yenko school ba biara sa wo akanfo dodo na yenko school biara me ka kire mo mu dem ba ko se metam broni ade aso a mu wie na anko yi na mo dwa mu wia na mbuafu na mututu din na mu yetu mu di wia matimi atena so obi te say Martin Kpagu ni okujeto mu na wo ko yusu time say obi ya che mafia na wo okujeto yetu din a obetimi atena Martin Kpagu free north wo yetu din a obetimi atena wo betimi atena ti ye kase ye ponche wa Martin Kpagu wo be kokot na abeko wo betimi atena wo free north o ekom ni ohia wo ye nkan enipa ne mo na num so northern region baby o Martin Kpagu free no wo beto obi oti eastern region achim din wo de mo pa ho me yente sa din ni bi obi ano sa MPP NDC ministers or politics let us see me seke ye life be to danger no so ye be to radar no so ya handle mo now ye kase ye to din a wo betime nya asomdwe wo nya asomdwe si ye to din se de mo to din fo kankan no wo nya asomdwe because baby a mo free no e ho nye e bon kun mentena ho mianwe ho edi ansan fun kra na e wo man mo no moko kantokwa a muntimi nkon na mo wi amusa ekam entokwa a muntimi nkon na mo ka mo eye obi asoma okay eti no kra ne say madam your friend Joyce Bawa no intellectual dishonesty na woye now we are all watching say Mahama be man position na ye be pro no redeem so obe public officer there you subject yourself for public criticism so we will see we are all here and we will see eti that was Joyce Bawa ono ne double standard a obe show chire wiase nyina ne nua so ne busu ande so ni enti they say ye nu babia akora nipa mienu omo nyina we de wanya ne de Mr. Calusius well deserve so secretary wanya ne de hame na mum omo agenda ne ntina ma me chirechirem no we qualify we PhD holder any problem Joyce Bawa we lawyer we deputy minister for wait at position no problem but the double standard and ntina make kan so we are all watching Yankwe no hide the reason so your friend what they say but Yankwe but like video na the Yankwe we are all here Kwame was the time hotel right enti Free Joyce Bawa na Yanko Mahama ede new appointment aba Yanko ye ho adwuma sesi ana enhwe Mr. Calusius our presidential secretary to the president will release a list bi wa say yenhwe President Mahama nominates second batch of regional and sector ministers mpacho regional ministers Wilbert Petty Brentum Western region say minister ya designate no Eduamoa Eko Penyin Ochere Central region Sasona Joseph Nelson Western Enna Nana Frank Dr. Frank Amwakohene Ashanti region enra medenedian by now yenhwe ministers of state. Number 1 the Kanye Kwame Gavins Agboja or MP Adakulu and they one Minister of Roads and Highways one Mahama Dinedru akwana eya obuli afayi MPs no obokono obuli wo mo parliament won ai me do beto ase na wahwe ebia na unim wo ntina wa hye wo nso yes okay we okay west minister MP regional ministers ni omo de ni na yenhwe okay we so ye education ministers na omo afa yento aso Eric Opoku Minister of Agriculture Food and Agriculture Eric Opoku yeah and Agnes na Momo Latte MP Minister of Gender and Children's Affairs and Social Protection yeah number 4 Abla Jiva Gamashi MP Tourism one on say wako tourism ono so anamajano right ono so ni we musuni nti one na shemfimfia say no tourism culture and creative arts eti enwumtofo ni nyina maame we Gamashi no am say actress kra no actress yeah ena Kwame Abuja so na ehye tie no ono na hye ano now yenhwe Haruna Idruso number 7 here Haruna Idruso education Minister of Education enti Haruna Idruso former minority leader and they one call Minister of Education one ekosi aduchumu anan anoten but in fact why education minister pen I think 2013 yeah 2014 mo baby yeah eti I mean our experience kakra eti Haruna Idruso or headed to education ministry now George Opare so na etwato wa say one so yeah Minister of Youth and Youth Development Empowerment Ministry now we ministry beni Minister of Youth and Development and Empowerment. Wow. And ya Mahama sa the new ayaba another ministry. Yes. Enti operado any adena koto sa position. Enti say you youth ministry empowerment. You full ministry ebe kita for the young people. Mr. President, thank you. Thank you. Now number 8, Ahmed Ibrahim so ena wa ha say wono wa ha. Ahmed Ibrahim or ha say okay, meko akwahwe ono aba. Meko akwahwe Ahmed Ibrahim aba. Wono ye Minister of Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs. And this year no Ahmed Ibrahim na Minister of Local Government under then ye Chieftaincy ewo. Enna Elizabeth Ofosu Ejare MP wasai Minister of Trade, Agriculture and Industry. Alanchama to position wono. I say mami we ena omde amon wono so ni. Wono shemfifi Elizabeth Ofosu. Enti say no the second batch President Mahama edi abetu dwa no ena mede church nti shomonso why o ministers ne shomonso yeah we me regional minister central yes oko western central and western north region nti wo mo so no afi nyom mfia na yenko ahase oba ahase so Haruna Idruso education ministry trade ministry Elizabeth and afi o George Opariado Ministry of Youth and Empowerment designate. It is say not just say Minister of Youth and Sports no say we separating no ye ni Minister of Youth and Sports bi o say Minister of Sports no mini ba bi e dey kwa kwahye de mini ba bi o mo dey ko bi o because say no ye nya Minister of Youth and Empowerment there where is the sports Minister of Sports no away eti ye be hwe anoden eti channel smile why eti creative art for ni nyina no ai Mama Gamashi, Jifa Gamashi, ya mo to say there. Waba. Ena education ministry Haruna so aba. Transport ministry Kwame Abuja. Eti mon share so my. Mahama mamu ebe yede. Mahama mamu be yede. Mahama mamu be yede pa. I say, Nana Boko said the new name is Minister of Sports and Recreation. Sir, and yeah, Medebeba, Evinya, Odenya, what is Afeni Ashasi. Afeni Ashasi. Eti, dear also no, Yan Shannon, na Edia Ibidru. That's right. I know they. Okay, now, after Yanko, another sensitive matter, the LGBT case, whatever. Beman na trumu esa trumu case here by. I don't say campaign time no. Omu ye campaign the tia MPP for no. This be na unikru. NDC running serious campaign edit here the MPP. All because omu chese Akufo-Addo mpese obesign te Akufo-Addo kra no wo ye dey opese o jigetum. In fact, beman twira asem bi wa say your friend say Sam George or twira asem bi na asem bi o twire meba. Ode yenti Mr. President ti ha say.
Arabia, almost of the Arabia, almost LGBTQ asem. Na also hompo na eye haram kra e wa mamre mu. Yeso ye ha eye chiwade. Wo hwe Kristo som na eye chiwade. Se be ma ne be ma oba ne oba ebeda anasom omo be campo se omo ware.
Right. Enti campaign time na President Mahama also ye campaign say e ma so for the hu say asa Akufo-Addo kra ye nipa boni ni. In fact, wo mo koye ma press before either Assemblies of God kra wo mo threaten Akufo-Addo. So in fact Ghana no na is so interesting say e kwan anas wo mo de Akufo-Addo fa so no sim say wa sheda say on sign. Hwe wo de Sam George kra sem bia wo twere. Sam George say you are beginning to appear like a supporter of Trumutu. Sam George etru baby de okachire Akufo-Addo no. Now obi the case ni court say omo ni kwan so be sa de no ampa ye nkwa nanu ye Akufo-Addo lusu lesi ya na Supreme Court kwashe sa decision ni down wanti ababi obebe bia no ekwan mu ada wo say obe sign afei yenkotie President Mahama wo free campaign mood no yentie na yento aso netie enro ya woni clergy ni hia no o say case bill no I spy afei ebu be ebe ya nke yenko school dan mum ne yenko kire ye manfa proper values ho na mum say ye ko sign ni baby ne hwan no kra de I mean anyway bill no kra yenyin free Sam George nsem na yenfa mre aban no na aban no eno an control affairs yenko yenim
Ezu kose
President Mahama has been clear that he will sign that bill, and he has no option than to sign that bill. President Mahama will know no peace from Sam George until he signs that bill. And he himself has said that to the clergy, that as a Christian, as a member of the Assemblies of God Church, he will sign that bill. What the president said to the BBC was in response to why President Akufo-Addo has not signed the bill. And he said,
a few moments later.
It's quite a long name. Proper family values bill. If you remember, there was a court case that injuncted the speaker from forwarding it to the president, and also restrained the president from receiving the bill. Eventually, that case was disposed of in December, I think on the 18th or so. Yeah, so it meant that the injunction had been cleared. But as far as I know, the bill did not get to the president for assent. And so the convention is that all bills that are not assented to before the expiration of the life of Parliament expire. And so that bill effectively is dead, it has expired. I don't know what the promoters of the bill intend to do, but I do think that we should have a conversation on it again so that all of us, if we decide to move that bill forward, move it forward with a consensus. And probably it shouldn't be a private member's bill, it probably should be a government bill with governments behind it.
Right. Enti enra Mr. President shia no and watch chechiri mu and watch say bill no say baby adu the bill na I spy. And Mr. President say bill no I spy is dead. I want to grab before you say the bill is dead. Ninti Montonjino baby. Nemum one do who say as I say you co school cran amco church proper family system. Yen church and cry so ye church and crank a winning and kema. One Mr. President no. Or no say I didn't haram campaign time no. In fact, what ye cram about me enya big issue man cramophone crowd to abeti about me. Now, yentie Muslim community for no. Ade to wo hunu ye yentie asemu ni ento aso ye ba.
Read my lips. Mahama will not sign this bill. The bill is dead, as he said. And it will be dead
on condition.
And it will be dead.
He stated why it's dead.
And it will be dead in the next 4 years. Trust me.
Why do you think so? Because this is something that...
Listening to him yesterday, he said 2 things, or 3 things. One is that the bill is dead because that parliament is dead.
Yep.
There are some lawyers who are saying that no, there's no bill that is tied to any session of parliament. It is a Ghanaian parliament that has passed a bill. If it is at its embryonic stage, for instance, first reading, you say, okay, so let's restart it. But this one, it has gone through first reading, second reading, and third reading passed.
You only needed the assent of
the president. Again, there is no NDC president, there is no MPP president here in Ghana. We only have president of Ghana. The law is saying we can test the law. Leave the law. Let's even take it as he said that it has expired. Now, former President Mahama, President Mahama should tell us what is wrong with that bill that he wants us to discuss again. I was shocked when he said that they needed consensus building on this. Let's look at it and build consensus. The bill first went to Parliament in 2021. I don't think there is any bill in this country that has enjoyed public discourse than this bill. Do you remember any bill like that?
No, I mean, we had a lot of conversations.
To the extent that after the first reading, for 3 months, there was public hearing live on TV. Joy Prime, you captured it. Public hearing for all groups to come and vent their spleen. You had Ghana East Commission coming to do it, right?
Human rights.
You had CDD. You had everyone coming to do a presentation. Don't forget, this bill is sponsored by 8 NDC MPs with 1 MPP MP. You understand? And you used it to cash in. You won Asin North elections because of the LGBTQ. You went there. In Asin Praso, the MP for New Edubiasi stood in the mosque after our prayer and said it clearly that President Akufo-Addo is going to implement LGBTQ, a reason he is removing Jeche from Parliament. The Muslims voted for you. Even this time around, a lot of people voted for the NDC in 2024 because even though they trust Dr. Bawumia to say that I'm a Muslim, I will sign it, but they felt that why didn't he persuade his boss to sign? The Assemblies of God Church came with a public statement that if Akufo-Addo refused to sign the bill, they will vote against MPP. There was a procession. For the first time, you had clergy demonstrating. And former President Mahama is telling us now that there was no consensus in this bill. And you see, that is the reason I'm telling you that the man is not ready to sign any bill. He's not ready to restart the process. He will only restart the process. Then he will push it through some lackadaisical attitude till his 4 years expires. Because he's telling us that the bill is not necessary.
Would you blame...
He's telling us that the bill is not necessary.
Yeah, but
we should go and teach our family values. In your home, Ghanaians, all that we're talking about, if you look at the media and those who are sponsoring it, everyone is saying that our culture, our upbringing and everything in our homes teaches us that homosexuality is really a no-no. So now former President Mahama is telling us that we should go to our schools and now start teaching them that, well, female is male, no one should just engage in all these things and so on. When it is something that is embedded in our culture.
Yes, and that's what
I mean, as we on ahomete o ahomete papa nti on say nti say obi o ha wo say oh munya bote nyina yen kamunian support President Mahama hwe iwiase won enye da beto bu atwa so ofra ne mbafe be chewo ekwan ya NDC pa de Dr. Baumia afaso no atro mu ditia Baumia so ye kremoni ne Jack na dangerous because Baumia ene Akufo-Addo nenam yeah in fact Baumia blow bebre a wanya nyina because of Akufo-Addo ntia o awurade Baumia onye Ghana ni bia bone o onso omo nse de nya asem bia ntia Baumia o nemum omo Akufo-Addo no enipa bere tan no nti no omo peki Akufo-Addo a no mo na hete Baumia onso Baumia besi ne NDC ni bia no betuma ka say or corruption case against no Baumia sesi ame na ka say wonu ni politician a untimi nya no ho asem bia nka apart from something be bata Akufo-Addo ho ai Baunim election time no ekwan omode Baumia fast no ano odene hey atro panko fo editu Baumia so no na ehu amo mafia man no nti eba ne say na say president beka say Ghana fo nyina no yen support no na wonye Jack there's nothing to support o media no media manage ntokwa ho there's nothing to support e dey support dey mimi show na me ye no say President Mahama ye competent a enyam na me stop no but in some ye kan nyina e be reflect obeka say agro na ne yedi because we know them. I mean, they're just propaganda. This is terrible. Bill Noah, Ghana for di hun komo was almost 275 MPs in United home. In fact, a could do stage class say MPP for no attract one MPs in say and this for say more kwa Jessica and some one support dia ye be to a bet yam. Sana 2 MPP4 MMP4 nyina ko support us abel no unanimously our parliament afedie edie bio no Mr. President Mahama yo party enko ba e no anka we no asign ba unim mo nim politics na ye ka no a obi wa wonte ase oh munya botre no e game so we play the minds of the people. Politics in Ghana is a mind games. Mind games. When you win the power, that's it. Now you turn everything around. Munya hwe afi na mo be hu niam be bre nkomo ne de be koso. Ai. On John Jinapo owe. O say na no be ka kire say obeka say ye only 5 hours na Ghana nka ne nyina adum no na petro ade na hwan also say media phone taken by contest also say media phone taken by contest yeah nti me tia na me criticize politician na men ka say bi ade na wota down me ta na gide yi akwa we be ka kire mo say or bad news the Ghana for other year aka only 5 hours na Ghana fu anyina asana nkane ne bedum afedi amanfo to see mu na we chechirem ne chechem na no wo say media no na ye dey misquoted me. My 5 hours full comment was on HFO. Sense Power had 23 days of crude oil. Media misquoted me, John Jenapo. Jack, Ghana no obi na mpe Ghana yi o. Obi wa wo so wa baji adwuma no kokoye wadwuma. Obi ansoma. Obi enu on ka so mpe Ghana yi o. Ye nsoma me mo pa se kokko kwaji leadership yi o me mo pa. Eye wo no wo kwatwa tro no kwaji position. Ono wo kwatwa tro kwaji position. Kokoye adwuma no. Me nsoma o. Akwa weti ayi no o ka kire mo sa aka 5 hours na Ghana bibia akwa. Ono to no o ka kire mo. Now but not say, oh, ba yen cheye, and don't criticize him. Ba yen cheye. Akwabi Jack. And go for women, I'm say, game no play no, Obi on Tiasie. Jampo bi sa akwa jampo bi no me hu na no asem bi wa ha ora me ba akwa bi a friend se wan jampo bi no ote won ototo ayampia yak udi atro e ma asafo ayira oda abonten tietietia se wutwa tro e ma asafo ayira oda abonten eno ano no enya fe na me oda abonten a me be so akwa we hwade ya say friend ho jampo pacho tie wo de tie wo be hihye adwuma wo de tie wo say wono no wo time the man people for under tie say.
Dear MPP people, your relevance would not lie in your very failed officials' attempt to quickly offer unnecessary criticisms to an administration that is less than a week old. Suddenly you found your voice, you want to criticize. But do you know how to govern? You do not even have a clue when it comes to governance. And so on what basis are you going to be criticizing? Just keep quiet, focus on your party that is in tatters, that is risking disintegration, rescue the soul of the party, rid the party of all remnants of Akufo-Addoism, and make sure that the party is restored to its tradition to become viable in some future elections.
Okay, eti so one nipa o kasai so wahun one we so we professor almost we professor my fault akwa we yes we professor my fault so we professor my fault we so on say obi I say, do you know how to govern? And so MP within 8 years, NDC MPP are governing woman 8 years. But so BNC will hand over peacefully at the next government. Iti konfoboni ya watena ya former konfo papa beto no ye yini bone. Nti a chere wo say, will you be a politically onim politics mu nyansa sa wa jampo yi akoya no wo koyo atopa wura yakoa yi a na hey can't you tell me anything? I'll buy you shit. I'll buy you shoes akoa we atopa presenter professor we I was say accessible grade BBC for document be accessible grade papa we so on when we to man mo Ghana no wo te kro no sa akoa yi. Yes, we so professor we my fault. Kai we watch the okra wu akwa we chere wade wu e de no ni student ya hwan ya de ni watch ni student pa ni student ya timaye sa hwan jampo we akwa we my fault. Kai wonu kwa na ti school dem kan minsu woda e de asam fon ko fo wo nyina gu o man enko yie o akwa we chere wade enko yie akwa we kai violent kisser BBC documentary on violent kisser. I have somebody kiss you violently before we sani passy. Why lucky send me video no man farmer can bobo chere wo mu. Akwa why lucky. Now when people before the modi cha akwa we ya. Esa mo pro ni video mu amok unsa esa mo midi mo man punchline. We jampo kai. Where your professor? Aputo. We on say Kennedy bio man we no pe bia fa we jampo okay where your professor akwa we where your professor my fault and sometimes I no mudi o empani say konfo boni a wata ya former konfo papa beto no ye nyini boni aye 8 years no to Ghana no oye strikes what ye onya increase what we say do you know how to govern woni mo mambuo Ghana property what him emu no de consult bi koye violent kissing wono na no asem no akwa we hey MPP for no de Jack munya aduane die no na mo ha mo support base no mo ha mo support base no enipa bi say na ese mo handle wo mo na mo bo ma power every day mo ko top airtime na mo bo ma power sa o jampo mu sa no mo silence wo mo na we mu de we wo no be ka de asem mo man feel heat say o kan na mo masom o kan masom mo man feel heat MPP for we mu de communication I don't know Mr. Jampo traditional media nka ba bia mu teteska Jampo nko an mo pedi pa be 5 man ono nko akwa we no mo handle no sa kwa jampo we where your professor where your professor there the professor no di nkomo hotel a restaurant was we Professor Nadwinini. No one says you are bamboo. Professor Kominini. Professor my fault. K. Where your professor? Sometimes turning some funus out, and what ya messim, minima dear Kufuado the Iom. Ubu saw me say, a dear Kufuado the Ios want to mean count. Et is say, Obita Santini, Gan and Impo Bio Santiniasem. Ubusan say, a Santinia your day. I saw my dear, Bibiomodia, ye, Omedia, Omocomoya Gaga, and wow. E bina a Kufuado the Anetiano. Obusan say, a Kufuado ayen day won't who dear Kufuado the Iano. Aye, because this is a bush of what we grew up. I'm a move, do it to me a canon. Do it to me a canon. Okasa Kufuado are corrupt, where your man is sick. Court no was as a court to done this one, yet Chigarene or one. Sakufuado, your man is sick. Court to done this one, ye bought and penny or. I don't know if I don't go court. Omunim say, Omuka say, what Crono and as well be a Ubeka say, Uncle Court, into a monka, into a much shechiri, and Umutum foot to Gunkodano. And the Kufuado are corrupt, and the Kufuado we are corrupt for Fanako Court. It's 2025. Magan and Nibia accepting media publications on corruption and TV. Mentie, Omuka shut to up. Mufia and Gomofan Panaco Court in any Sikana Munabi, I'm church. Obia, you gonna Sika, Obekan Media, Yan Day. Media for a court. Media a court. Ghana for the Sunday, someone near Muyo. Obipano Case, Kofona Rio Manisika. Tell them to go to court, period. Awe Professor Kominini we bunya titikulo mbede kurona yi. Professor Kominini. Ore tie yankwe. Ore tie ni samfo no bi.
Ghana is not it's a multi-party democracy, and so we need a viable opposition. As it stands now, your party is not viable. Your relevance would not lie in your very failed officials' attempt to quickly offer unnecessary criticisms to an administration that is less than a week old. Suddenly you found your voice. You want to criticize. But do you know how to govern? You do not even have a clue when it comes to governance. And so on what basis are you going to be criticizing? Just keep quiet. Focus on your party that is in tatters, that is risking disintegration. Rescue the soul of the party. Rid the party of all remnants of Akufo-Addoism, and make sure that the party is restored to its tradition to become viable in some future elections. We need, Ghana is not it's a multi-party democracy, and so we need a viable opposition. As it stands now, your party is not viable, and you have to focus on how to rebuild it, how to marginalize and relegate to the background Nana Akufo-Addo and his rebels.
Right. Enti so-called Professor Atopa Kominini. I no. And what to abo to bono. And what to bono. Enti MPP for no munim how Mr. Handle no. Yes. Eti o mine no o tan na woman no. Eno na me ye ka ho asem. So o tan woman na o mo tan no inferiority complex so ka ho. Right. Now, ebiani a free service passport na for diplomatic passport. Me no kasi se CI president I issue green paper say abanda da no passport or the man wo nyina obi anfamra. Ti ase ni ento aso.
Opepombo somede etoso du 9 krata mampanyini John Dramani Mahama edibetu dwamu no wo kire mu se science wo pese wo hwe se sa diplomatic passports no odidi dwuma yie na fe wo Ghana man no ehu ban nti ena wode ato wo no mu a wo kura sa diplomatic passports ni bi nyina enemu se won famra senti mampanyini enam enkrata no so Edia to Chief Director what Australia Foreign Affairs so animu say one more will cry diplomatic passports ni nano one wonum any so na one wonum eda esese wonum nyina eba Australia honomu na passports nemu enkrata sim nyina no wonye NCC sebeya obetumi agye free wonum nsem enkrata ni mu no wama Australia no akwakosi opepombo so meda etoso aduonu 9 sesa anhyehyeye no wonye ne nyina.
Right. Enti the Atiane said Yeah, I'm on your run and say, yachi girl, as a yachi gary. As obi chigari, what have yachi. Now, way news, way news. I may be anywhere, oba, on issue service passport and diplomatic passport. Just say, Uncle Fu, we won't. Bibia, almost somebody news, so Bibia is a news. Etu ode busa say eti NDC abapawai wo mo aye omo ye dignity say all party no ntia mo diplomatic passport ana no just say I mean tia say we ade say you should letter na ye the code media so un say akwese be ma wo mo number on say be ma on say wonya de o mpem on who complain too much ewo ba bema oba ho ai unse so bema won need total control woni fie no da bia no okasa odi nkomo wa bonten ai so why you weak won pamu a oba fie a nkomo tententen ai sa NDC aye ase NDC asa adwuma no musuro eti ye bibia nya mo yenkoka nkyere Ghana fo no mo yenkoka nkyere Ghana fo no mo yenkoka nkyere Ghana fo no proud of again enye izo agro no say my witness get different government on my witness almost about yes like 5 governments on eti the omo ye na asa every time too much me bo we will be catch Ghana for the end day. Is any end day. Abai be ne ba won issue diplomatic passport. Abai be ya. Any oko TikTok no so a. Omo kofa sa akodi picture ato say da bre sa akodi e kura no. President Kufuor amano diplomatic passport. En wo mudi ni picture na ne ekohwe enkoda no a wo mo bra bia no a ekomani brafo no. No mu di na tem. An ye passport. I say, and I'm so wow, look, we. Eti, Hopeson Adorye President Mahama Bay, on issue diplomatic passport on Jack. Amamu nyum kurasesemo, munya botre. Amamu nyum kurasesem sa o. Edi akura ni. Amamu be ni. Oh no. Amamu nyum kurasesem. This is serious. Edi akura no. Say, mom, ya issue letter say edi akomedie mu obi anfa ne passport omra. Baunim, eboboba, eboboba. Because Miss Makajo say NDC need their own. I know them. NDC for there. I know them. Minim di ometima. Now, yentie MPW also was yentie MPW.
For anybody to attempt to make it look as if said the NDC government, the MPP government is an inhumane government. Yeah.
But I understand.
I don't even have the best of words to use for it. Mm-hmm. But it's just unconscionable to the least.
I see.
It's just unfortunate or unnecessary for anybody to think so. At the third transition meeting, mm-hmm. I am told that government fuel of about $70 million.
Right.
That was the agreed amount for a certain quantity. Mm-hmm. Corruption and we are watching keenly.
Corruption
and I'll prove to you why. Why? Maybe I didn't $70 million was the agreed amount for a certain quantity. Mm-hmm. Our transition meeting, from what I've been told. Mm-hmm. Later on, Yohani, who's a grid coup, issue statement to be. Yeah. And grid coup, per my information, was told by the NDC to make the amount $90 million.
This is a serious allegation.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yes,
No,
but you
this is a
see,
serious allegation I'm making.
hold on, I'll come there. But who say John Jinapo after that came to say the idea no say $100 million.
I agree.
What John Jinapo did not want?
No, me nyanti.
John Jinapo says the idea cost about $100 million.
$100 million.
Yes.
So it was agreed.
Let me find
the transition meeting. No, I'll check it. Don't worry, I'll check it for you.
Even without
our transition meeting.
Forget about the
agreement. 70 million.
Forget about that agreement. That is actually the case. But why would Gridco issue a statement say $90 million? Then John Jinapo will come and talk about the first $100 million. Two conflicting figures at the same time.
So what is the suspicion?
But I'm telling you, so I'm saying a wild allegation. But even the ones that is on record, because transition meeting, I cannot provide you